Alright, we're long overdue for a update on the V8 944 project. Haven't actually had a lot of time to work on it for the past, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 weeks, so not a lot has happened. I did get the clutch and flywheel back on and torqued all down yesterday, so that's in there. The next thing there was to do was to replace the slave cylinder, since that may or may not have been causing problems. So Renegade Hybrids sent me a new one last year when we started having some problems, and replace the clutch master cylinder, so that way our hydraulics for the clutch are actually all new. But one little snag that I totally forgot about, as you can see, we took the kind of hard to see down there, it's a little dark, but there's just 2 nuts that hold the master cylinder onto the firewall. But you have to get in and take the clevis pin out of the clutch linkage, and it's held on by, let's see if we can get the camera in here. So that's the clevis pin, and you have to get this clip off to get the clevis pin off. I don't think I can do it with one finger here, but maybe. Ooh, no. But anyway, pull that clip off, then you can pull the clevis pin out, then this rod will be free and you can pull the master cylinder out. This is the over center spring for the clutch linkage, and this is the pivot for that. And it's German. It's a good setup, but it's more complicated, and I was originally trying to do this yesterday and tried to do it from under the dashboard, and I was thinking, well, it'll be a whole lot easier if I pulled the seat out, because effectively you have to lay on your back down here with your head up in the wheel well, or up under the dash. Then I remembered that the actual fuse box just pops out, so it's literally got 2 thumb screws that hold it in. Go back and look at that. It's got this thumb screw and this thumb screw that hold it in this well here. So you just take them out and you pull it out by the thumb screws, and just move it off to the side so it's out of the way, and then you can get to the top of the pedals, which for me is way easier than laying down in there. My neck is got some pretty serious problems, so laying down there and trying to crane your neck around at the same time isn't a good option for me. I probably spent an hour and a half doing it yesterday, and wow, I'm really paying for it today in pain. So, but anyway, the other thing we did a while ago is we got ourselves a nice Momo steering wheel here. The steering shaft's not hooked up right now because the engine's still sitting down, but that's a pretty cool steering wheel. I like it. One of the reasons I wanted to have it is because it actually puts your hands out further, you know, so your driver's position is a little better. Having the seat, I pretty much have to have the seat almost all the way back, if not all the way back, for it to be comfortable foot-wise, which means you're using your full reach to grab the steering wheel, which is okay on a car with power steering. A car without power steering like this, you kind of want to have a little more upper body strength advantage. So having some bend in your elbow makes you have that mechanical strength, because then you can use your upper body easier. But yeah, the other problem with this is since this is an airbag car, I wasn't able to hook the horn up to the horn button, so we're gonna have to figure out a way around that. But I really dig the steering wheel. It should be pretty nice. Now we just got to get the car back together so we can actually start using the steering wheel. Let's have a look underneath here. There's the clutch flywheel all torqued down on there. That's all ready to go. The bell housing, everything's all ready to go back on too. I wanted to get the slave cylinder replaced because literally the next thing to do is to put the bell housing up near where it's got to be, not all the way pushed on, because you don't want to be pushing this cylinder in yet. You have to hook up the hydraulic line, fill the reservoir with fluid, and open the bleeder so that fluid will flow down and through the cylinder and out this bleeder here, so that way it fills the system up completely. Then once you've done that, then you can bolt the bell housing on, which will in turn push this cylinder in. So that's where we're at, pushing the stuff together here, and yeah, we got to get that cylinder out of there. And in other news, our Transaxle is back. Got this back last Saturday. It's got the limited slip in it now. It's got this back reinforcing plate in it, so that way this part of the transaxle's stronger. And this trans, I traded my trans for a turbo trans out of a, I don't know if it was a wrecked turbo or what, but the guy had a turbo track car, and the gear ratios in my trans were better for his application, so he had this one as his spare. And the guy that built it said that this is like a really low mileage transaxle. He didn't even replace the synchros because they looked brand new. So that's what we got. So it's a standard turbo transaxle gears plus a naturally aspirated 944 fifth gear, and the reinforcement plate, the limited slip differential, and all new bearings and seals and stuff. And it's full of I forget what oil they recommend, but it's on the receipt. Anyway, it's stuff that's meant for these transaxles, because they have it's not like an American synchro. It's got like a cone and a dog and all this German stuff in it, so that's kind of why you can't just bang gears in them or anything. It's a little, you have to kind of finesse them into gear. So this part's all ready to go. Got to finish up the front part here and get the engine back up in there, and then we'll move on to the torque tube and everything else, and get this engine bolted back up in there. Then we'll move on to the transaxle. That's about it.